And welcome back to Fourth and Pain, the only pro wrestling show to be hosted by an NFL player and a weight loss champion. That right there, Redskins defensive end Adam Carriker.
Word.
Former wrestling announcer turned weight loss champion Chuck Carroll here. And this is Fourth and Pain. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Fourth and Pain. And whatever else you do, join us at noon Eastern each and every weekday on fourthandpain.com for fresh content. But I don't want to waste any time, because right now on the line we have a man, Adam, for the first time in a long time. He struggled last week in making his picks, but that's okay. Plenty of time to make it up. Goldberg, how are you, sir?
Well, I'm humbled again, but, as Carriker says, I guess the importance now is on the playoffs. So, regardless of the fact that I won or tied for winning the regular season, it's all good. It's all good.
Just to set the score, Goldberg went one for 4 last week making his picks.
So he has 2 points.
Yep, I went 2 for 2 out of 4, which gives me 4 points if I could do the math. And Adam, both you and your wife, who tied Goldberg for the regular season championship, your wife went 3-1 last week.
So we got 6 points. And don't forget, we're picking a fan. We haven't calculated the scores yet, but we're picking a fan each week to compete along with us and against us. And we will be tallying that total all the way throughout the Super Bowl.
Well, here's the good news. Everybody across the board has room for improvement. Nobody was perfect last week. And when we make the picks this week, hopefully everybody, or at least some of us, can go 4-0, myself. But Goldberg, before we make our picks, I just think it would be appropriate, seeing as though we haven't had you on since the Georgia trouncing of Nebraska.
Trouncing?
It was a trouncing in my eyes.
Let's talk about that Notre Dame trouncing.
Well, we're not there yet.
Oh, okay.
We're going to get there. But
right.
Just remember, you picked Notre Dame as well. So, Goldberg, if you would like to share any thoughts with Mr. Carriker on the Bulldog victory, now would certainly be an appropriate time.
Remember, you're supposed to be a babyface, not a heel.
Hey, traditionally, and, the reality is I am a babyface, and I am not going to rub anything in by any stretch because I am a Nebraska fan. Being from the Midwest, I am a fan, there's no doubt. If they were playing against any other team other than my Bulldogs, I would have been rooting for them. But the fact is that they were playing the Bulldogs, and though the first half looks fairly promising for the Nebraska Cornhuskers, I do believe that the Georgia Bulldogs woke up in the second half and left them far behind. I will leave it at that, Adam. I do believe that you should be singing "Go Georgia Bulldogs" for the next month or so, but I will leave it to you wearing my 1989 Peach Bowl jersey, which I have picked out specifically for you because it was the only cutoff jersey that I ever wore.
This is wonderful.
Nice. Have you sent it yet? I haven't gotten it yet.
I can't wait. Oh, you will get it.
Okay. All right. I'll wear it as soon as it gets here. Honestly, the first half was pretty even. I turned to my wife after 3 quarters and I said, I think we're going to win this game. I thought Nebraska was the better team through 3 quarters. In the fourth quarter, they're bigger, they're faster. They just had more talent, and it just shone through.
Yeah, well,
give them credit.
Good for them. And Notre Dame last night, real quick before we make our pro picks. Notre Dame this past Monday in the national championship game. Across the board, I do believe we went with Notre Dame. And if they didn't come out looking just a little bit more than lethargic, I don't know what that was. That was an absolute hideous showing. And you two both having played college football, was this a case of nerves, or was this a case of Notre Dame just simply being outplayed, outcoached, outwitted, etc. at all?
Adam, you're first.
I was telling Chuck before we started recording this segment, I've watched Notre Dame many times this year, and I saw things out of them I'd never seen. Manti Te'o missed 2 tackles all year. He missed 2 tackles the first drive, and he just seemed to struggle all night. And what I saw was the team that their mind was going 10,000 miles an hour faster than their body was. They were so excited, so hyped up. I think that obviously Alabama, they're just a better team. They're faster. They're more powerful. That's clear. But I think the game could have been much closer had Notre Dame just done what they had done all year, and also not attack the best defensive back in America. Alabama's All-American. They kept attacking him all night. That didn't make any sense. But I think it could have been closer. But Alabama was clearly the better team.
Goldberg, what was your take?
Yeah, at the end of the day, I think it's a reality check for Notre Dame. If they went up against SEC teams often, at least once a year, they would have been much more prepared, I believe. I think it's unfortunately for the general public who doesn't see the dominance of the SEC, I think it's a reaffirmation that the SEC is the dominant conference. Not only because it has one or two teams that can totally destroy you, but it's the weekly beatdown of the style of football that's played in the Southeastern Conference.
Wow!
And I truly believe that Notre Dame, unbelievable team, no doubt. Nothing should ever be taken away from them. But if you look at Teo in a microcosm of what happened in the game, his inability to tackle was not, in my eyes, based upon nerves, based upon being out of position. It was based upon the fact that he was outclassed. He wasn't big enough, he wasn't strong enough, and he wasn't fast enough to be in the hole, take on the blocker, shut the blocker, and take on a 225-pound back. It's just the reality of physicality. That's what I believe.
If you
mean, as far as coaching is concerned, I don't believe there was that much of a difference. Although, if you're the offensive coordinator for Notre Dame, I think your motive should be questioned after going after, that DB time after time after time. But I just think it's a reality of the fact that they were bigger, stronger, and faster athletes. And when you have, a fairly comparable coaching, and when you put those two types of bodies up against each other, it's a no-win situation for Notre Dame. I believe.
And you can tweet Goldberg at Goldberg using the hashtag SECHomer. Goldberg, if you could only have seen how much Adam rolled your eyes when you went into the SEC superiority comment, I mean, they rolled halfway back in his head. It was unbelievable.
Well, first of all,
I just state facts. I mean, who's won the national championship 4 out of the last 6 years?
Well, they've actually won it 7 years in a row, but that helps your case,
not
mine.
Whatever. Whatever. So that purely reaffirms the dominance of the conference.
Well,
I think.
That's what I'm saying. That helps your case, not mine. But here's why I'm rolling my eyes. Number one, they are the best football conference in America. I'm sick and tired of hearing it. I'm sick and tired of seeing it. My least favorite team on planet Earth is Alabama. So I did not enjoy. I'm not a Notre Dame fan, but I would much rather see any team win the college championship other than Alabama. But here's what I will say. I think there's a lot of SEC homerism in what he's saying. There's also some truth, but let's not forget about a little team called Texas A&M who came into the SEC. Nobody paid any attention to them. That spread offense is going to get spanked by these SEC defenses, and all they did was come in and spank Alabama on their home field, beat almost everybody they played this year in the SEC, and they're probably a top 5 team with the Heisman Trophy winner. So I think there's some truth in what you're saying, but I also think there's a little bit of SEC homerism there too.
All right, boys. Well, let's put the kibosh real quick on college football. Turn our attention to the pros. A number of games to pick. Wild Card weekend behind us. This is the division round. And Goldberg, seeing as though you are in the basement, we're going to open up the picks with you this week. We start with the Baltimore Ravens at the Denver Broncos. Perhaps Ray Lewis's final game of his career. How do you see this one playing out?
Peyton Manning, man. I mean, I know that Ravens had a hell of a game. Obviously, they're riding high on the fact that they progressed and that they get to be out there with Ray for one more time at least. But I think that enthusiasm is going to be waned by the performance of Denver, and I'm going to go Broncos and Peyton all the way.
And Bane, how do you see this one?
I think this is going to – you have my permission to die now. I think it's going to be much closer than people think. I think Ray Lewis is going to have another really good game. I think he's going to inspire that team to play even better. But I think the Broncos, and especially with Peyton Manning, and they're clicking now, and they've won 9 games in a row, I think they're going to edge them out just a little bit.
Simply put, end of the road for a remarkable career in Ray Lewis. Best of luck to you in retirement, but this day belongs to Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos. And Adam, we will be getting your wife's picks up on fourthandpain.com, correct?
Yeah, and don't forget, fans, you can join with us, pick along with us, fourthandpain.com. Feel free to compete.
Next game, I'm actually really excited about this. This is a classic matchup out in San Francisco. The Packers traveling west. Green Bay at San Francisco. Goldberg, again, you lead things off.
49ers. I mean, obviously, Aaron Rodgers is ready to do his thing in the postseason, but I think that the momentum that the Niners had in the beginning of the year, and with their youth and their talent. I just, the couple times they've waned, I think it's not going to happen this weekend. I think they're going to upset the Packers.
Adam, what about you?
Since the Redskins aren't playing this weekend, to me, this is by far the most exciting game, most intriguing matchup to watch. And honestly, the toughest game to pick. I'm going with the Packers. I hesitate because the Niners have had a bye. They also have home field advantage. They also don't have to travel all the way across the country on a week's short rest like the Packers do. But you look at what the Packers have done, and they got robbed of victory in Seattle. You look at what they've done without all these guys that they now have back and healthy. Charles Woodson, linebacker coming off the edge, Sackmaster. What's his name? Help me out.
That guy.
That guy with the long hair from USC. We can't think of his name. But anyways, they got all these healthy guys back. I think that's going to be the difference. I'm not very confident in this pick, but I'm going with it just because Green Bay is now healthy. And Aaron Rodgers is a little better than Colin Kaepernick as well, I think.
I'm going with home field advantage in the San Francisco 49ers. I just kind of like their odds right here, so I'm going to follow in Goldberg's suit, and I'm feeling pretty confident about that. Reminder, if you want to pick with us, tweet at 4th and Pain using the hashtag GoldbergPicks, picking one fan to pick with us at random each and every week. And gentlemen, still a couple of playoff gems on the board today. Let's start with the Seattle Seahawks traveling east now to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Adam, we'll start with you. How do you see this one?
I think Atlanta's sick and tired of hearing how they always, they don't perform in the playoffs. They're sick and tired of hearing about it, and I think they're going to prove people wrong this game.
And you would pick them after last weekend. Goldberg, what about you?
Same.
Yeah.
I gotta go with my boy. Good reasoning. Good reasoning for sure.
And I, too, am taking Matt Ryan, the Atlanta Falcons, to win this one. I don't think that Russell Wilson was all that impressive last week. I think that things just kind of fell apart for the Redskins, and so Seattle gets the win and blah, blah, blah. Here we go. Last game of the weekend, Houston Texans, heavy underdogs at the New England Patriots. Last game, we give the honors to you, Goldberg. How do you see this one?
Patriots got to. I don't believe that. I don't believe the Texans are going to be able to redeem themselves of what happened earlier in the year, and those may be the playoffs, and they're two different teams. It is the playoffs, and Brady is about to shine again. So,
Mr. Postseason,
go Patriots.
Adam?
I'm tempted to go with the Texans because they were humiliated, they were embarrassed, and that whole argument I made for Nebraska and then Nebraska lost. So I'm going to go with the Patriots.
Yeah. I'm just going with the smarter pick. Pretty Boy's going to take this one to the house, no doubt. New England all day. And a reminder, last time, pick with us at 4th and Pain using the hashtag GoldbergPicks. And real quick before we go, Goldberg, I wanted to get your opinion on the Robert Griffin III situation, the whole Kneegate, as it's kind of being purported to be out here in Washington. And so...
Wow, what a terrible name. I did not know that.
Well, everybody likes to put gate on the end of everything after, Watergate. We're in D.C. Come on, get with the history.
I thought R.G. Knee was bad enough.
Kneegate.
Gosh.
No, we're going with Kneegate on 4th and Pain. But anyway, Goldberg, is there any, how do you see this one? Is this just a fluke occurrence that happens with injuries in the NFL, or is this a case of Robert trying to keep himself in the game too long and trying to be a warrior?
Well, I mean, let's all be perfectly honest here. I mean, we've seen what Robert's done throughout the year. We know what kind of person he is. The reason why he was drafted so high is not based solely upon his athletic ability. It has something to do with his character and his drive and his ability to always strive to be the best. Well, at the end of the day, he's going to try to stay out there as long as humanly possible. Is that best for him and best for the team? Well, that's the coach and the doctor to figure out. Since I wasn't privy to the doctor information, and nobody really is except for the head coach and Robert himself. I mean, I really don't know the shape he was in. Obviously, through looking at the situation and looking at what's happened in the past, when you take Robert out, backup comes in, and hey, you've had some pretty damn good success with him in there. But you can't fault Robert for trying to do everything in his power to get his team to advance in the playoffs. But at the end of the day, it's the coach's responsibility. And it's really hard for me to place blame when you don't really know, like I said, the doctor's report. Obviously, they wouldn't have let him back in if he wasn't fit to play. But, you sometimes have to make the decision for him. So
sure.
Hindsight's 20/20, man. So I'd say it's a 50-50 deal. I mean, coach takes him out, then he's lambasted, by the fans that, he didn't give the team the best opportunity to win and advance in the playoffs. So, I mean, it's a conundrum.
A la Jay Cutler a few years ago.
And real quick, we are definitely running out of time. But Goldberg, is it safe to say, in your opinion, that you think that the Redskins, given this 7-game run, the remarkable run to the postseason this year, that turnaround, they're looking to be in pretty good shape heading into 2013 with a healthy RG3?
Well, to be blunt, absolutely yes. But I don't believe that it's because of looking to a healthy RG3. I think it's because looking to a healthy Adam Carriker coming back and dominating that damn defense line where he should be.
There's that babyface turn. I like it.
You got to like that.
I like it.
And here's the fact, boys, to wrap up the show. The next time the Redskins take the field, Adam Carriker will be running out there with his teammates.
Dude, I got pregame butterflies just thinking about it. I can't wait.
It's a beautiful thing. So on that note, we are fresh out of time. I'm Chuck Carroll. Thank you so very much for believing in our weirdness.
Adam Carriker, got your largest arms on the D-line. Peace out, Fourth and Painters.